Welcome back, everybody. Here we are. Episode, I think, 9? I think this is episode 9 of the ImJustSayin Podcast. I know it's been a long time. And I say this every episode because it seems like I make every episode 2 months apart. This year I made the first episode. Well, not the first episode, but I made like 3 episodes in the summer. Didn't make a single episode all the way through the NFL season. Then came back for the Super Bowl. So I've been very consistent, as you can tell. But we're gonna try to get better at that. School is almost over. It's almost over. I'm grinding my butt off. Try to get by. Try to get this degree. Because we all know, if you've been watching this show, you know that this is not going to be a full-time career. Would love it for it to be a full-time career, but if I keep uploading the way I've been uploading now, ooh, ooh, yeah. But anyway, March has taken a toll on me. March is over. We're in April, I know. Which, let's be honest here, guys. The NCAA, I have a million things to say about the NCAA, but it's March Madness. Why can we not find a way to make the tournament start and finish in March? Not a big complaint, but whatever. March has taken a toll on me. I'm mush right now. I haven't felt good in like 3 days. Uh, it's just been gross food and beer and suffering and pain and joy and elation, but it doesn't. You can't just get a little bit of that, a little bit of that. You're just feeling all of it all the time for 2 weeks. The first couple weekends were immaculate as always. The games have been really, really good. We have some big time storylines. The Final Four is set. We're here, guys. We're here. We're down to the end of it, and we're staring down the barrel of a sports summer that is not loaded. But we'll get into that later. We're just gonna stay on March for now. I've got a little rundown back here, as you can see. Well, you probably can't see because it's tiny. You won't be able to see it. I'm looking at it right now. You definitely can't see it, but I can see it. And with that being said, with March taking a toll on me, we have to get into it. It's been a great tournament. It's been a great tournament. Final Four is set. We will have North Carolina State and DJ Burns, America's sweetheart, facing off with Purdue and Zach Edey, who is actually kind of funny. I've been seeing some clips. He said he had a boner after the after the game, which I probably would too, especially when you're that. I mean, honestly, probably takes a while for that guy to get a boner, though. I mean, the blood's got to flow a lot longer than any other human body in existence. But I mean, he's up there in height, 7'4". The guy's ginormous. Um, we have NC State and Purdue. We have UConn, who just looks like the Grim Reaper. They're just mauling everybody. They're mauling everybody. Even the Illinois game, uh, you know, this past weekend, I was sitting there watching it. I went and played some golf and got back a little bit late. Threw in the first half. I'm like, this is a great game. Here we go. Elite Eight was phenomenal up into that point too. And I'm thinking, all right, well, um, you know, UConn might be this might be a game where they struggle a little bit. The guy's name is I think it's Terrence Shannon. He's been on fire for Illinois the whole tournament. And Damask or whatever his name is, I think it's Damask or something like that. He was hitting his shots. They had a couple guys. They had a couple 3 guys. They had Shannon, and you thought maybe they'd give him a little trouble. Nope, nope. Second half they pulled right away. They just flew away from the competition as they always do. They just maul everybody. If you want to play fast, they'll play fast. You want to play slow, they'll play slow. You want to play physical, they play physical. You want to shoot threes, they can shoot threes. They can do everything. And they have Dan Hurley, who couldn't be more angry. I love him for that. I'm an angry person. You know, if you've watched this at all, you know that I'm not a happy guy. I can never be happy. Neither can he. But he at least wins some national championships, and I just sit here on my computer and complain. Um, the guy is a great basketball coach, and the team is phenomenal. Klingon looks like a guy from outer space. He looks like a guy that doesn't even make sense. Like the length of him, he looks like Lapras, the human form of the Pokemon Lapras. Like it doesn't even make sense. He's got like tentacle arms. They're so long and lanky, and he just get out of there, you know. And the Newton can score from anywhere. He can drive your offense. They are really really scary, and they will have to play. They will have to play. This is really really great podcasting here. They will have to play um, Alabama in the Final Four. Of course, Alabama finally getting over the hump. Alabama and Purdue, that's kind of the bigger storyline. Not the biggest storyline. We'll get into the biggest, but this is probably the biggest tournament over the last couple of years storyline is that Zach Edey and Purdue have finally made it to the Final Four. And not only that, Alabama Nate Oates has finally got over the hump. He made it to the Sweet 16. Now he goes to the Final Four. And that's going to be a phenomenal game. I cannot wait to watch. Honestly, both of these games I can't wait to watch. But UConn, Alabama. We've seen Alabama start to try and play more physical, play a little bit more small ball. Obviously, they're still way better when they get out and transition and play fast. They shoot threes. Sears is phenomenal. Pringle is really good. If he can stay out of foul trouble, I think that's going to be a big key, helping them down low with people like Klingon. But they can score. Alabama will score. The Alabama over is my favorite bet all the time. All season long, the number will be astronomically high. Every other number will be 130, 140. Maybe you get a couple 150s in there with two higher scoring teams. No, Alabama's at like 180 every game. And somehow they get there. It doesn't make any sense. They were playing Florida in the SEC championship. They were down by 20 points, and they still got to the over. I mean, the team does not really play defense other than occasionally. And that's your biggest concern with Alabama is that maybe just UConn defensively, they will defend you. And Alabama may just get open and they may have a couple runs. But the problem is they won't be able to keep up because UConn is getting stops and they're not getting stops, which is probably why I will go UConn. But I probably will take UConn in the over in that game, no matter what. The number's probably, like I said, the number's probably 180 or 170. I mean, it's got to be super high. Let's just go and check here. I can't even imagine how high it is. Great podcasting, great podcasting, great podcasting, great content, great content, great content. Alabama, it is 160. It's actually really low. I'm hammering it. And you're getting 11.5 with Alabama right now. It's early in the week, but it's going to be hard not to bet them. It's a big, big number for two good teams, especially for a team that can score whenever they want, because they'll be out of it and all of a sudden they'll come roaring back. They struggled against Clemson at times, and they kept finding it. They kept finding it. And that was a really entertaining game too. Clemson surprising everybody, of course, in the tournament this year. Alabama and Clemson playing in playoffs and not being football still is debacling my mind. But these tournament games have been really fun to watch, and it's partly because you get the style mix up. So on this side of the bracket, like you get that Alabama team that just they score at will, they score. They are a fun, fast-paced team, and then you have another team like, even Purdue. We'll just say because I'm looking at it, but Purdue. They will play clunker basketball. Like Edey will have 40 points, and it looks disgusting. Obviously, there's the Virginias of the world that scored no points at all. I could score more points than they did. They put me in there, and I'm not good. I'm a bad shooter. But you put me on the post, you get me on the post, maybe I'll get a couple lay-ins, get a couple touches. But it's not always the most. I mean, Purdue definitely this year. They have more 3-point shooting. They just have a better team overall, it seems like, and that's translated them to getting to the Final Four. But they have to play the team of destiny, and we'll get into it right now. DJ Burns is America's sweetheart. There may be nobody more popular in America right now. If you said the election was next week, and the Democrats decided to run DJ Burns instead of Joe Biden, he would win. That's how much people love DJ Burns, and I'm one of them. The guy is a specimen. It doesn't even make sense what this guy does with the basketball. He's got to be. I don't want to be Rich Eisen and basically call the man fat to his face, but the man has to be at least, let's just say at least 275 pounds. I wonder what they list him at. He is 6'9", 275 pounds from Rock Hill, South Carolina. I mean, that's right up the road too, and the guy is a monster. He's an absolute monster. He's a fun guy. He seems like he's having a great time at all times. Like, even if they're down, like he's calm, he's cool, he's collected, and he may be the silkiest man. He might have the silkiest mitts I've ever seen. His little back, he'll back you down, and everyone knows it's coming. It's like Shaq. It's like watching Shaq. Like, he'll just back you down, give you that little spin move, and he's got all sorts of moves at the rim. He's got that little spin move and lay it in. He's got like the knock you in, and he'll have that little like floating hook shot almost that he gets up and over. He'll hit a mid-range jumper every once in a while. He's not a big 3-ball guy, obviously. You heard him talking about Jokic. Jokic complimented him, being like, "Yeah, I love watching this guy." Which, I mean, of course, everyone loves watching. He's amazing. They call him the vending machine. The guy does the vending machine side hustle that we've seen on TikTok 1,000 times, and it just makes him better. Also, he was saying he can't eat any of the shit in his vending machine. He's lying. That boy is having a couple bags of Cheetos, Doritos. He's getting a Dr. Pepper every once in a while. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not taking care of his health, but I'm just saying that boy has indulged in a couple sweet treats, savory treats here and there. But I can't wait to watch this game, because the one player in the NCAA that I actually think may have a chance at defending him is Zach Edey, because of his length. And with DJ Burns, he's so physical. Like, I keep watching these teams. Let's look at who he's been playing. If you look at NC State, so they played to start off. Not to mention they've won 9 in a row. Maybe it's 10 in a row now, because they won the ACC as a bottom seed. They go all the way through the ACC. They come to the tournament and they play Texas Tech first. They wallop them. Then they play Oakland and they struggle. They go to overtime against Jack Holke. I fucking hate Jack Holke. I actually love him, but he ruined a lay for me, and I can't tell you how annoyed I was with that Kentucky Oakland game. Every time I lose, it's because of the 3-ball, and at least this time it was the generational 3-ball by a white dude with a widow's peak. He looks like he's going to be doing your books in a couple of months, but he throttled me. But he couldn't throttle DJ Burns. They get past it, and they score. Like, they can score 70. They can score 80. They scored 80, 79, and then 67 against Marquette, who's a good team. But, think about Marquette. You got all these small dudes. How are they supposed to defend him? How do you practice again? You cannot simulate DJ Burns. You literally need a guy to dress up like the Michelin Man and get on the post to have any sort of even just any sort of plan of attack against that. You have no idea how to defend it. And then you get to Duke, right? And you think maybe somebody like Filipowski, who has some good size and good length on him, he can defend him. No, he took him to the woodshed. Filipowski fouled out like a little pussy bitch. I mean, he is. He's a little whiner. He stuck his foot out and got tripped, made everybody try to cancel court storming for a while. And he's just a classic Duke whiner. And they had no answer for it. And these teams in the tournament, My biggest qualm with the tournament is these teams will get down, and because of Steph Curry and because of Dame Lillard, and it's cool to hit threes, and because of Jack Colkey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Here's the deal, right? These teams will get down and they forget how to play basketball. They'll be down 10 with 6 minutes to go, and it's just shoot, 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 guy in the face, shoot, guy in the face, fading away, shoot, guy in the face, make you come off a high ball screen, jump backwards, shoot. They'll shoot it anyway. It's unbelievable. And this is another sidebar, but the women's game last night, we were watching LSU and Iowa. Caitlin Clark willed that team to just a spanking of LSU. But when LSU got down, they didn't just abandon basketball. These teams, they'll just abandon their entire game plan and just try to shoot threes and come back and go on a crazy run, which when it works, you get all this momentum. But when it doesn't work, you are dead to right. If you were losing before and you start shooting threes and missing, you are toast. To go back to Alabama, that Alabama-Florida game. That was their whole deal, is they got down and they felt like they just had to go back to their instinct is to get out and shoot these buckets, and they were just not making them. And sometimes you got to go back and put it on the floor, get down, and one foul. That's why DJ Burns and NC State are so good. They play fundamental basketball. They only take the threes that they need to have. And obviously they've gotten some luck, like in the ACC tournament against what was that, Virginia. They got the big three to tie it at regulation, but these guys, they just start chucking it. And if I was a coach, I'd be so angry. You have no chance of controlling them. I mean, these guys are all making more than you at this point. So, Duke Houston, to go back a little bit in the tournament, Duke played Houston and Shed, or I think it's Jamal Shed, or I think it's Jamal Shed. For Houston, their best player got out. That game's a clunker. 51-54 is just a disgusting score, no matter how you draw it up. But Duke, again, a team that shoots a lot of threes, and they just struggled to get back into the game against somebody like DJ Burns. They don't have anybody to defend that. You might have thought Filipowski, but I mean, again, once he fouled out, it was over. And they were confident. This is one of those few Cinderella, and don't call them a Cinderella because they're in the ACC. I think that's bullshit. They're an 11 seed. They've won 9 games in a row. They're on a heater, obviously, but they are a Cinderella team just by definition. And they just keep coming at you with the fundamentals. Diarra is a dog. Horn, he can knock down a 3-ball as well. When they need a timely shot, Horn will give them that shot. But their offense runs through DJ Burns, and there's no way to stop it. It's an immovable force against an immovable object against an unstoppable force, and the unstoppable force is working every single time. I would really like to. I mean, these games are going to be great. I hope they make it to the national championship, just to have something, the possibility of it. But it would really suck if they played UConn in the national championship and then they just got dog walked. But I think NC State, Alabama, not just to be the contrarian and pick the lower seeds. I think NC State, Alabama would be the most entertaining game that we could get. Just because of the style contrast, and DJ Burns again would have all the ability to get big down there. And I'm so here for it. I love watching that thing fly around. Not him, that thing, but like his belly. His stature. I love watching it. He's got silky smooth touch. He looks like he's just been squeezed. He's one of those little worms, those little silkworms that get squeezed out of the pod, and he's just making a thread. Just hitting him with every time, and it's automatic too. He's on fire like no one's ever seen. The family was awesome. Watching his dad be like, yeah, oh, too big. His dad's also a unit. That's what March is all about. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal television, and we're running out. We are running out of it. We only got 3 games left. My bracket, by the way, toast. I've never watched more college basketball in my life. Never in my life have I watched this much of a full season of college basketball. Maybe since I was a young kid. And even then, like, I only remember, like, the Tyler Hansbroughs of the world. I don't remember who else was playing. But this is the worst bracket I've ever had. Plain and simple, this is the worst bracket I've ever had. Not even close. Not even close. I mean, I don't think man, I wish I could use my phone as a camera. I can't check it right now. But I'm bottom two, like dead last in basically every bracket I'm in. My girlfriend made a bracket, smoking. Also, shout out to her. Her women's bracket is like top 8,000 in the world. So good for her. Obviously, not as many people doing that probably, but good for her. I love her. Anyway, but yeah, it's been a fun tournament. I really enjoyed watching it. It's every year. It's so fun. It just drags you out, dude. And okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it. Actually, I got two more things. So, number one, my pick. Speaking about my bracket being this bad, my pick to win it all was Creighton. They looked pretty solid. They did get in that double overtime game with Oregon. That was fun. That was fun watching the stream of the Barstool guys too doing that. But they lost to Tennessee, and it crushed me. I had them 25-1 to win the tournament. They looked like they were fighting their tough battles, but I thought maybe they would break through against Connect. They did not. Connect sauced them up, and they lost. They did not have a great game. And I think they could have maybe beaten Purdue too, but it just wasn't their year. So I went from 25-1 to 25-0, which really, really sucks. And then, I started it off by saying I have a qualm with the NCAA, but this scheduling thing, man. On Saturday of week 1 of the tournament, there was about, I don't know, there was like 6 games on. It was a Saturday, like I just said. You have nothing going on in the sports world. No football, barely any like NBA. I don't even know if they were playing, maybe a couple hockey games. But you know that if this was on, you were going to be watching. On a Saturday, they stacked the games. They did one game at noon or 12:30 or whatever it was. They did one game at like 3, one game at 5, and then they had all the games sandwiched together from 8 to 9:40 or 10 o'clock. These games, dude, are not ending till 1 in the morning, and there is no reason for it whatsoever. There is no reason for it. There is nothing else going on that's anywhere near as important as March Madness, and they refuse to put it in the middle of the day so that I don't have to stay up till 2 in the morning to watch some horrible basketball. It's unbelievably frustrating. It is unbelievably frustrating. St. Mary's Grand Canyon was on, it started at 10:05, I'm just looking at right here. 10:05! What are we doing? For St. Mary's? For St. Mary's at Grand Canyon, I have to stay up till 1 in the morning. Screaming on the top of my lungs. I'm sure someone's trying to sleep. So I apologize to these people. But the NCAA has to be stopped. Can we outsource the March Madness tournament? Can we stop doing this crap? I mean, 9:28. 9:28 for St. Peter's in Tennessee. And Tennessee won by 40. 10:20 for Kansas City. 10:20. It should be a criminal offense, a felony level offense to start a college basketball game with Samford in it at 10:20 p.m. And you sick fucks You know I'm gonna have to watch it. That's the real issue. You know you have me on the hook, and you still abuse me. You still do it. I keep crawling back. Going, maybe you're gonna treat me good this year. No, they smack you around. They kill you every time. Every year, they get you again. Again and again and again and again and again. It's just unbelievable how inept the NCAA is. Not to mention the paying players thing. Houston Longwood, 950. 116 matchup. I have to wait till 9:50 at night. It's unbelievable. Wisconsin James Madison, 9:50. Texas Tech NC State, 10:10 p.m. Only for DJ Burns will I stay up that late. It's unbelievable. And you have nothing going on. You should be ashamed of yourself, the people at the NCAA. And you know what? I know none of them are going to hear it. I know none of them are going to hear it. I can't affect anything. I really cannot. But it's unfathomable that they keep doing this. They keep doing garbage like this. I don't know how to describe it. They're just inept in every sense of the word. In every sense of the word. And the NIL thing is a mess. You know, you got Saban leaving because the kids don't want to be coached or whatever. Like, I don't know. It just, the NCAA, once again, they continue to make a fool of themselves, and we say, you know what? This organization deserves to run all of our college sports. It's unbelievable to me. Say what you want about all the all the other crazy stuff. That is what it is. But playing college basketball, a 16 seed playing at 9:50 at night. I have to watch Samford get smacked around at 1 a.m. The answer is, Jack, you don't have to. You don't have to watch it. I know I don't have to watch it, but yes, I do. Because I'm addicted. You got me. You stuck me. I have very few things in my life that I love as much as good live sports. And this is a once-in-a-lifetime event every year. Once a year event, not once in a lifetime, there's one every year. But it's they know they have us. And they still subjugate us to this. It's unbelievable. God, I hate the NCAA. Anyway, I'm done talking about the stupid basketball tournament. No, not stupid. It's been awesome. It's been really fun. It's just taken a real mental toll on me, if you can't tell. And I think the NCAA should go to hell for what it does to us. Anyway, let's move on. Let us move on. It's time for way too late. And I mean absolutely way too late NFL news. Let's talk about it. Free agency. It's here. It's happened. The Steelers are back. The Steelers are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be really good this year. And everybody better watch out. Because you know what? Even when we're bad, we're really bad. There's one thing that we're really good at. It's beating the shit out of the Ravens or the Bengals or the Browns. Sure, they may have got us a couple of those times. But the Baltimore Ravens lost to us twice this year, and they went to the AFC Championship game. The Baltimore Ravens lost to us twice this year. They went to the AFC Championship game, and we were dog shit. We weren't dog shit. The defense was still unbelievable. But now, quarterback room completely redone. New coach. We got Russell Wilson. We got Justin Fields. We got Patrick Queen, who no one is talking about, but I am really excited about him to give us a big boy in the middle. I mean, you look at some of these moves, though. Free agency has come and gone. Kirk Cousins obviously goes to Atlanta. His agent is all world. He gets $1 million every time. Actually, he gets $180 million. But the guy is... the way that he gets paid is unbelievable. I think that it's a good signing for Atlanta. I just think that you're paying a lot to 35-year-old Kirk Cousins for 4 years. You know, are you really saying that Kirk Cousins is like Tom Brady is like Aaron Rodgers, where, especially coming off an Achilles injury, that he's going to be playing till he's 40. He might be. He might be. But he's been some really good situations before. This is probably, he's got weapons there. The offensive line is kind of underrated. The Falcons could be very good next year, but they are the Falcons. Christian Wilkins to the Raiders. That defensive line is going to be amazing, but everything else seems like a dumpster fire. Their secondary was still absolutely horrible last year. They didn't address it at all, as far as I know. They're going to have to go get a quarterback, or maybe they're not, but they should, because Aiden O'Connell was really bad. The Panthers are an absolute enigma. No one knows what's going on with them. No one knows what's going on with them. Now, they have signed a ton of money. They signed 2 guards, Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, $13 million a year, $20 million a year. Big money. Allegedly, what they're saying out there is that with a short quarterback, you need the guards. You need the interior of the pocket to be protected more than you do the tackles because of the height. I don't really know what that means or how that makes that much sense. But, it does in a sense. But they need a lot of help. They get Deontay Johnson from the Steelers. Thank you very much. Took that problem off our hands. So that's good for you. Oh, look, and now I'm getting I'm literally speaking about the March Madness, and the universe is telling me that I'm getting ads for Oakland University. So Jack Kolke is still haunting my soul. That's amazing. I love that. Calvin Ridley, but again, I don't really know what the Panthers are doing. They kind of got better on the offensive side of the ball. It'll definitely help Bryce Young. I think this year is more of a let's make sure Bryce Young is good year than it is a let's make sure the Panthers are good year. They let most of their defense go. They did sign Clowney back, but he's very old. They might sign Stephon Gilmore back, but again, he's very old. And the Panthers are incompetent in more ways than I can possibly say here. So we'll see about the Panthers. I really want them to do good, because I can go to their games and they're very close, and it's nice to be able to go to their games and have them not stink. But they probably will. Calvin Ridley to the Titans. The Titans are very weird. It's a very weird team. I have it written down here. Titans make some strange moves. They would not pay A.J. Brown. They let him walk, or they traded him, actually. That's even worse. And they have now replaced him with Calvin Ridley, who they're paying $23 million a year to. He's already 30 years old. He's coming off the year in Jacksonville after the suspension. I don't know if he's the same guy he was. He was good, but I don't know if he's that good. Now, again, you want to talk about a team who's evaluating a quarterback. They have a new coach. I think that they're going to put basically all their chips behind Will Levis, and they're going with, all right, beat us. We have DeAndre Hopkins. Now we have Calvin Ridley. They signed Tony Pollard, which I think is a weird lateral move. I would rather have Derrick Henry still, to be honest. Tony Pollard, proved he had a lot of issues last year as the number 1 back, and they gave him big money. Tony Pollard, big running back money. They gave him, where is it? Where is he on here? I'm looking at a free agency tracker, and they gave him 7 years. So that's not big, but again, running backs are kind of getting paid more across the board all of a sudden. But like Saquon, let's see what Saquon got 12 a year. Which is crazy that Saquon Barkley only got 12 a year, but that's just how it goes. The Texans got way better. They got really good. They did lose Grenard, but they upgrade, I think, still to me in Danielle Hunter, and they only pay him $25 million a year, which is a lot, but 2 years, $25 million. You got a nice window here with C.J. Stroud. You use the space that you have. You go get a dog. He's an absolute beast. They could be very, very good. Obviously, they're the hot pick right now because C.J. Stroud was so unbelievably good in his rookie year, but they're the new team. They're the new Bengals. They're the new, we are going all in on this window, and I think it's a smart play. They've been waiting for a long time. They might as well go for it. The Eagles, I don't really know what they're doing. They got Saquon. They're basically going all in on the offense. They didn't fix any of their problems last year, which was their defense. They did bring in Bryce Huff from the Jets, who will be better. I mean, that will be a helpful play. But their defensive line was basically their best, like, their front was their best part of their defense. So I don't know why, in a year where the secondary was such a big question, they haven't addressed that really at all. I think the Eagles could be a early candidate for a team that should make the playoffs that won't. Write that down. Write that down. The Eagles may not make the playoffs this year. I know. It sounds crazy. But if you think about it for a second, the Eagles had all sorts of defensive problems last year, and there were times where their offense didn't look that good either. They bring in Vic Fangio, that is a big difference, but Vic Fangio's defense in Miami was horrible last year. They didn't want to play for him. I don't know if that's a Miami thing, but it sounds like it probably could be at least partly a Vic Fangio thing. He got run out of town in a bunch of places now. They said it was mutual, but it's never fucking mutual. Kenny Moore resigns back with the Colts. I really wanted him on the Steelers. I wish the Steelers would have gotten a corner. But I will wait patiently and see what Omar Khan does, because I think he is my daddy. I love him. He's the best. Gabe Davis is the newest wide receiver that is going to go to die in Jacksonville. I think this is a classic. He's not going to do anything for them, but $13 million is a good deal for a guy like him. He has that top end speed. Al-Shaair goes to Houston, another defensive. These teams that keep winning, guys, pay attention. They all do the same thing. They build the defensive line, they build the offensive line, they get a quarterback. That's it. That's the formula in the NFL. And if you can do it, exploit it. Steelers have got 2 quarterbacks now. Don't know how it's going to work. I really hope we're going to be good. If it's not Russell Wilson, it'll be Justin Fields. I can't wait. I would like to see Justin Fields kind of get in the building, though. Everyone else has been in the building. Justin Fields has been doing all sorts of shit. Get to Pittsburgh. Get with the squad. Start letting the aura vibe around. I'm ready for it. I need some aura in my life. Geno Stone of the Bengals. Got a lot of, in-division signings there in the North. But it's going to be a wild, wild year in the AFC. Again, in the NFC, it's going to be better. The NFL is in a great spot. And it's weird. I almost feel like the summer has already flown by. Like, we already got those owners' pictures and all that shit. But we still have 6 months till the shit comes back. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I actually do know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make podcasts. Dude. I'm going to be a big-time podcaster. Yeah. No, dude, I'm going to get degrees. But I am excited for it. And the thought of having no sports to tide me over is really kind of getting to me. And I don't know if I'm going to be okay. So I need you to smash the like button. I need you to comment. I need you to share. Tell anybody. Tell everyone. Tell your grandma. I say a lot of crazy shit, but you know what? She's about to, she's your grandma. I'm sure she's great. I love my grandma, but, the time is coming. So it's not the worst thing if she hears an F-bomb or a weird joke, I'm also realizing I asked y'all to smash the like button, and now I'm reminding you that your grandma might die. So that's kind of bad. I don't want that to happen. I also don't want my grandma to die. So this might be bad for me. Maybe the universe is trying to tell me something through my own words here, and I'm about to get screwed. So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. She's the best. She's a saint of a lady, and I know all of yours are. Or you know what? Maybe for some of you that don't like your family, maybe these words can help them die faster. So I'm trying to help you out either way. I don't want anybody to die, but if you hate your grandma and she's a horrible person, she calls you fat and all that stuff, maybe show her my podcast and maybe she'll just be like, I gotta go. I don't know. Again, not advocating for any death. I don't want anyway. But yes, smash the like button, smash the comment button, put on the notifications. I don't know. Do whatever you can. Just show it to somebody. Just show it to your brother, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, your cousin. I don't know why I'm going all family today. Show your best friend, show your worst friend. Yeah, show your worst, screw your best friend. Show your worst friend. Because then at least he'll be like, you're an idiot and you're stupid because you're the worst friend I have. But show your worst friend, and maybe I'll just cultivate a cult of horrible people that everyone hates, and I'll be the leader of the haters. I don't know. Whatever I do, it'll be fun. I'm going to enjoy the ride. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I know all the information in this podcast is 3 weeks old, but I appreciate you listening to me. And if you think that I'm funny at all, let me know. Tweet at me, Jack Grip on Twitter, on X. Sorry, Elon, I love you. Yeah, but I had a good time. And I'm just sad. DJ Burns. Give me more DJ Burns. I want more DJ Burns. Don't let me down, DJ. I'll see you in the national championship game. Hopefully Zach Edey doesn't get you. I don't want him to. I love DJ Burns. I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And hopefully April Fools didn't treat you too bad. And I hope your grandma doesn't die. Just for the record.